wise, quote unquote FCIQ wise, to try to beat your opponent. Because it could be a backfire thing where it's like, oh, I switched to a narrow formation. Now he can exploit my wide position a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what they say about this, right? So
all right, guys. So what you're
focus
watching
on improving
here
areas of the system based on community feedback, covering
is the breakdown of the second part, more of the off the field, the players, how they'll feel in FC26, right? They've done a ton of deep dives. They did the gameplay deep dive, which I call like a highlight video. The more important part was the pitch notes, which I released a video on. They go in depth. Everything you could possibly need to know about every improvement in the game is in that video. They've also done a deep dive into all the tests they've ran and everything they've done to improve the inconsistent gameplay, where sometimes your players feel so laggy and heavy, which is one of the worst things for many people, including myself. The game's been virtually unplayable lately because of it. On top of that, they went to a tactical side that's at the end of their regular pitch notes, but it's almost like a separate deal in itself. So you'll see what I'm talking about. However, this kind of shows you the depth of what you can do in FC as far as players. This includes how their movement will be, how they react in game, what players you're going to want to go to, how you want to build your team. So, just more in-depth look into FC26 when they've already went pretty in-depth. So you got to give EA Sports credit for that. These other games just haven't gone this deep. They never really do. FC25, FC24, FC23, EA Sports has done a decent job. They go deeper than the other games. But this time they're actually, I think they know that they have players that are on the fence. They actually have to earn the players' trust, earn the players' back that just don't really like the game. And even I'd go as far as to say hate the game. I'm sure there's some of you watching this that can't stand it, that are thinking right now, I'm not touching FC26. I just urge you to at least look into this for a couple reasons. One, if you're on the fence, check out what EA Sports has done differently. Two, even if you don't play FC26, say you play UFL or eFootball, you need to know what the competition is doing, right? If I run a grocery store like Aldi and my competitor is whoever it is, Kroger, whoever it could be, and I want to compete, I want to beat them in sales and beat them. If I just ignore them, if I constantly just go, they suck, and turn my head, well, then I'm never going to know what's out there, what to expect. Any possible good ideas that, man, is my game that I'm playing really giving me enough? Am I missing out on something? Like, you have to know. So, with that being said, Inception FC, a legend, you'll get his first takes on all of this, and it'll just give you more of an in-depth look at FC26 from the perspective of this particular game and where we're at, kind of the general direction we're going with all football games, as EAFC, formerly FIFA, always leads the way. So let's check it out.
Gaps in position roles and adding a couple of new elements that better match real football. The new player roles in FC26, ball keeping keeper, a wide back, inverted wing back, and box crasher serve as an opportunity to further customize your tactical approach and push beyond a regular formation. You also requested more control over set pieces, and we're delivering 8 more set piece assignments. Cool. More flexible roles. Attacking positioning. Players are less constrained by their role. If the opportunity presents itself, they can go beyond it or contribute to the play in more ways. Versatile. The versatile winger decides when it's right opportunity to attack or defend. They can swap sides with another versatile winger between phases of play. Added more focuses to existing roles based on feedback. Significantly improved usage of regular roles and role pluses to bring them closer to role plus plus. You see? You see how I say these things before it's even mentioned? This is what I'm saying, bro. They're the publicity stunt to actually sell the game. You're doing all the right things publicity-wise, EA. I gotta give you credit. I gotta give you credit for that, okay?
So I feel the same way, and I know many of you guys too. How many times have you guys been begging for something, been talking about, even if you don't have a channel, just internally to yourself. And then boom, they finally do it. Now it's a good feeling because it shows you they're going in the right direction. However, it's like Inception saying, all of these development companies, they want money so bad that they pull out any tricks they can to get people to buy their game, including saying things that don't come true. Can you believe it? Or recycling new, quote unquote, new features, meaning they'll have something, they'll remove it, even if it's well liked, even if it makes the game run well. They'll remove it for a few years, then bring it back as another new feature. Maybe change the name, maybe release it the exact same. But either way, they constantly do these little tricks. So it makes it unfortunate for us players because you have to take all of this with a grain of salt. You have to really look into it. When they provide clips, you have to really dissect those clips and see if you can make the most out of them based on how things are going to work in game, which I was pleasantly surprised at with the gameplay deep dive so far because they had a lot of clips, which are important. Now, some of them, they weren't deep enough. They didn't show enough to really tell if the feature was going to be good or not. Others, they did a good job. So let's see the rest of this. But remember, take everything with a grain of salt.
I still don't trust you, not even 0%. But it's like the last video when we were checking it out. Like, they actually did this. Significantly improved usage of regular roles and Role Plus to bring them closer to Role Plus Plus.
Because there was such a difference.
At launch, players will have more positions and Role Plus Pluses available. Good.
When players didn't have plus
I
pluses,
have Salah and I can only play him on a right wing position.
They perform terrible.
Stupid. Okay. We'll see what that actually means, though.
Real quick, I always say this as well. The playstyles, player roles, all this, it limits the players. It limits their identity and how they react within your team, which then restricts the football you can play, which then takes away from the realism, which takes away from the game itself. They need to be more loose on the players. You don't have a player that's just a target man or just a poacher or just an anchor man or just an orchestrator. Different scenarios throughout the game call for all different roles to be played. Now, a player, depending on who it is, their player ID should determine how good they are in these different roles. However, you can't restrict a player to just one area. Just like the let's use eFootball, the Showtime skills. Why are they limited to one? Even Pele only having phenomenal pass, phenomenal finishing. He absolutely had more than that, right? Why only long reach tackle for Van Dijk? He absolutely should have, aerial forward and so on and so forth. Why not give these players the skills that you have in game, but all the ones that they actually have? Yes, it would make every player better, but the limitations are strictly a sales point, right? It's a sales strategy because they want you to get the next player. They want you to get the next Van Dijk that has 2 Showtime skills, the next Van Dijk that has triple boosters. It's all a sales point to keep you buying cards in FC, eFootball, and all of it. And UFL, it's skins, same thing.
Because you could say one thing and then drastically reduce the negative impact of being out of position. At launch, players will have more positions. Players can go beyond the 4th position in FC26. There will be more players with Role Plus Plus throughout FC26's cycle. New player roles and focuses. 4 new roles. Wide back, a central defender who opens wide to cover for the fullbacks, ideally part of a back 3. The wide back can occupy the fullback position if they are not present in the formation or they go up for the attack. Focuses, defend, aggressive, and support. Inverted wingback, a modern attacking fullback that gets forward and adopts a central position high up the pitch when their team has the ball. Depending on the focus, can play as a playmaker or as a shadow striker.
Wow.
Focuses, build up, and attack. Box crasher, a defender.
You realize what that means? That means in FC now, you can have a wingback that becomes a freaking attacking midfielder. You can have Teo Hernandez shooting up that left side, overlapping your striker. Pretty sick, honestly. These are still very limiting, and I hate how they do the roles and styles and stuff. But if you're going to limit the players, at least expand it. At least expand what you're doing. Give more options.
defensive midfielder who can get forward to join the attack, making trailing runs into the box if the opportunity arises. Is slow to return to their defensive duties. Ball playing keeper, a modern ball playing goalkeeper who supports build-up play as a passing option and stays on their line when their team is in defense. Focus build-up. New focus versatile replaces complete, used to allow players to be more flexible and less restrictive in a specific role.
Wait, so they already had this ball playing keeper, modern ball playing goalkeeper who supports build-up play as a passing option and stays on their line when their team is in defense. So basically, they're saying they had before where you come out like a build-up or whatever it's called, and I forgot the name. Then they had the defensive keeper that stayed on their line, but that was only defensively, like you either rushed out or you stayed on your line. What they're saying here is now on the offensive side they'll come out. But then they're saying as a passion and stays on their line when their team is in defense. I don't like that part. I want my defender or goalkeeper to rush out and be, especially in FC that's needed, and be a passing option. Because then he's already out further. So anyways, interesting.
Essentially perform whichever focus is more appropriate at the moment. Added to fullback, classic 10, winger, poacher, advanced forward, 10 new focuses for existing roles. Fullback, versatile, classic 10, versatile, winger, versatile, poacher, versatile. Good. You technically don't need to do it to advance forward because that's like the best attacking AI in the game, basically. So it makes sense that you don't do that. This focus allows these roles to be less rigid. Wide, mid, build-up, and support, reworked below, box-to-box, ball winning, focus on recovering the ball between the two box-to-box and providing central support to attack and defense. Half winger, support center mid only, focus on supporting the play, position themselves between the wing and center of pitch. Half winger, roaming cam only, will freely alternate to the side on which they are attacking. Even during a play, false nine attack makes runs into the box from deep, following the ball closely, less worried about supporting the defense. Reworked wide mid and sweeper keeper.
Sweeper keeper, that was the setting.
Defensively oriented and ideal for 3 back formations. The defend focus tracks back like a wing back, protecting the defensive midline. Oh, so the Alphonso Davies SBC that we got, it'd actually be usable for this game, I guess. Not usable because people will still use it, but it's just not ideal. Yeah, so the build-up focus can move a little forward to support play, but also come back on defense. Sweeper keeper role is focused on rushing and coming out to recover balls during replace a few existing roles. Advanced forward complete is now advanced forward versatile. Yeah, so basically the same thing because the way that they move is in a versatile way in a sense, right? So that actually makes sense. Wide mid bounce is now...
Wait, complete is now advanced forward. Advanced forward complete is now advanced forward versatile. And then as I said above, versatile is used to allow the player to be more flexible and less restrictive in the specific role. Can essentially perform whichever focus is more appropriate. Right. So if you don't want your player to just do something specific, like for instance, I want my CDM as an anchorman, as a defensive or maybe ball winning. But if you put versatile on, like for a striker, they can do a little bit of like being a target man or being a poacher, being, which is better, right? Hopefully this is all aiming towards getting rid of this. Loosen it, and then say, hey, it's all about the player ID, right? And like you can give descriptions of the player, but the roles in general should tie to that player. How that player plays. Meaning, you might have a defensive wingback that also is great at attacking. You might have another defensive wingback that only stays back and gets more central, almost like another center back. You might have a defensive mid that always shoots up and gets in the attack. You might have another one that's almost like another center back just further up. Wins the ball, gets rid of it. Different players are different. The other guy can win the ball and get rid of it, but he also can get up, especially dangerous on headers. And there's these restrictive roles, they got to keep loosening them. So they're going in the right direction.
Wide mid supports, attacking wingback bounces now attacking wingback supports, tweaked wide mids and fullbacks attackers.
Looks like they're
When
trying
asked
to bring
build up,
three
the
back
inverted
into
wingback will act as a
viability.
central playmaker, helping dictate the play. So you would do that, and then you would have the center back that can occupy the left back position. And then in that same position, if that's like a 3-back setup, you can use your CDM. Interesting. It really depends on how you guys adjusted the attacking AI, honestly. Oh, look, he has right mid position change. 4-2-3-1 wide. Yeah, technically you could do this, yeah.
Very good potential to be 4-2-1-3, by the way, which is the current meta.
And the way to sell the rolls is through your things, okay. Tweaked all roles position to allow more space in play. Stoppers and center backs who step up will attempt to do more safely and effectively. New set piece, new attacking corners, top of box, defensive cover, 5 total. Threat marker, post watcher, near post, back post, left throw and taker. Oh, for defensive ones. Yeah, you do need the defensive ones, to be fair. Quality of life improvements.
Let's read that.
And the way to sell the rolls is through your things, okay. Tweaked all roles position to allow more space in play. Stoppers and center backs who step up will attempt to do more safely and effectively.
Yeah, this is what I want to read. All right, 2 new attacking corner kick assignments. Top of box, I love that one. So you can drop a ball back. I wish they had that in eFootball for my set play where you drop the ball back. Defensive cover, 5 total. So you have near post, back post, target player. We know that. Then you'll have top of the box and defensive cover. Do you know how huge this is, guys? Do you know how huge this is? Now I can set. I don't have to have why in the heck is, I don't know, Roberto Baggio covering defensively? Like, I know I don't want him up on corners necessarily, but I also don't want him, which this isn't a problem necessarily in eFootball, but this is huge for FC. More control on corners, more availability to try to set up plays. 4 separate defensive corners. So now you have post watcher. So obviously near post and back post, we know what that is. Then you have threat marker and post watcher, which basically will cover on the attack, will cover the threat watcher, threat marker, will cover your target player. The post watcher will cover, I don't know. We'll see. And then you can give an assigned throw-in taker. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is huge because whoever had the throw-in playstyle, right, or long throw-ins or whatever, they would always go. You could have a right back. The throw-in would be all the way on the left. Your player would go take it. So then a good player will recognize this, like, oh, Theo Hernandez is all the way up here on the right. Throwing the ball, they'd win it, and then boom, they'd shoot the ball down your left side, their right, and your Theo Hernandez is still way over on the other side of the field because he took a throw-in. Now we get rid of that. We have an assigned throw-in taker. That's huge, actually.
New set piece, new attacking corners, top of box, defensive cover, 5 total. Threat marker, post watcher, near post, back post, left throw and taker. Oh, for defensive ones. Yeah, you do need the defensive ones, to be fair. Quality of life improvements. We focus on improving the existing UI and system. Some of the main highlights include add a position indicator and with or without ball view. Oh.
Let me read these. Shortcut in squad to take you directly to your active tactic. Spider chart, tactical breakdown to help understand your tactics, strong, weak points at a glance. 6 stats, attack, defense, build up, width, length, and endurance. Those will be on the spider charts. So attack, defense, how your build up will be your width. You know how wide it is, how narrow it is, your length from your defense to offense, I guess, and then endurance. Changes to the tactics code. Line height gets saved to the tactics code. Okay, good. FC25 tactics codes are compatible with FC26 and will be converted to the FC26 format. So essentially just your depth. will be added. Ability to save and load tactics codes to your profile. Works in and between Ultimate Team, Career Mode, Kickoffs, Season, everything. Every mode you can bring your tactics to. Can have up to 10 different codes saved. Can delete codes to make space for new ones. To save, on my tactics screen, press square or X, depending on what you're playing, what console, to manage your tactic and select save code. If the list is full, choose code to overwrite. Okay, whatever. This is all code stuff. The reason why I'm reading it, though, tactical suggestions will work with your existing formation and give you a version of that tactic that maintains your current formation and suits your players. Work with your existing formation and give you a version of that tactic that maintains your current formation, and that's pretty cool. So those players who aren't as in depth but kind of want to go their own route or want to learn or don't want to copy and paste, now you have some help, right? But if you ever need help with tactics, I got you covered. Your formation will never change when accepting a tactical suggestion. So that's pretty cool. So before they'd have all the managers, and I did it a few times where I accidentally changed it. But that was with the managers. I wonder if they'll even still have the manager. You know, every manager has a preset. You don't have to use it, though. It's an option. It's not as in-depth as eFootball, which I like eFootball. Each manager has proficiency. I think if you're going to have managers in the game like FC does, each manager should have a style or something they bring to the table, you know, other than a nationality, you know, chemistry point or whatever, or a league chemistry point in nationality. I mean, it should be more than that. It should be something that has to do with actual managing.
Attack, defense, build up, width, length, and endurance.
That's the
Changes to
spider
the
chart.
tactical line heights get saved.
Bottom right's the spider chart. It's in that red square. Everything else is essentially the same. That screen stayed pretty much the same. Besides that.
To the tactics coach. FC25. Oh, line height gets saved to the tactics coach. That's hilarious. That's so funny that you added that to this. Oh my god. FC25 tactical are compatible with FC26 and will be converted to the FC26 format when applied. Oh, okay. Ability to save and load tactics codes to your profile works in between Ultimate Team, Career Mode, Kickoff, Seasons, Friendlies. The load tactics code to your profile works in between Ultimate Team, Career Mode, Kickoff, Seasons, Friendlies. Can have up to 10 different codes saved and delete codes to make space for new ones to save on my tactics. Okay. Oh, okay, good. Ah. Uh-huh.
So why I wanted to read into that and I didn't skip forward, you might be like, what the heck? Any of you, leave in the comments section if you had this issue. I can only go with one tactic in FC, or at least FC25. I hope they fix it for 26, but I'd create my backup tactic, which you're actually supposed to be able to switch in game. Now you're more limited now that the players have like roles and all this. It's not like before where you line up your team to connect so they all had perfect chemistry. Then in game you would go switch, so you never knew what your opponent was playing right off the bat. You could guess based on what the meta was and all that and what players they had, but that's how you could get Salah to play Cam, or shoot, if you wanted Salah to play wingback you could have. Now if you do that change up, players are out of position, so you're limited anyways, but it is nice sometimes to have a backup tactic. Not as important as before, and mine would never save. Hopefully that was just a glitch. That will be fixed, but we'll have to see. So now Rush. Some of you don't give a dang about Rush. I get it. However, it is a fun mode to play with your friends sometimes, and since there are important objectives to do through it, I'd rather have a more improved mode than play a boring mode, just like how they do with the objectives in squad battles, which can be like pulling teeth, right? Score 20 goals with this player. It's like, dude, I got to sit here on semi-pro and score 20 goals with this Irish international. Like, come on, man. But hopefully this will make it a little more fun, because the mode itself, how it plays is not bad at all. You can't say it is, right? The more the ratty players, the trolls that just sit there, go away from controller and stuff, like that's worse than the actual mode. Let's see what they added.
Okay, this is rush stuff. I'm not really too.
I knew it. He won't go into it, but I will. All right. So now you can be the goalkeeper. Players can now control the keeper in clubs rush, adding a new dimension to rush gameplay. Notice that there's clubs rush. So like say we create a club with OGFC, we can play rush 4v4 whatever. So I like that. I don't really care about being the goalkeeper, but I guess it's cool. Quick chat, 4 diverse quick chat categories, each featuring 4 messages for a deeper. So now instead of just the emojis, you can say a little something else. Probably like, great goal. Are you serious? Awesome job. You suck. You know, some bull crap like that. Pause users. When a player pauses a game, teammates can see a pause icon above them. That player has a ball. Teammates can request a pass, prompting the AI. Okay. I guess so they know the AI is playing instead of the player. Career mode rush. Players can now make substitutions during youth tournament matches, allowing them to develop and evolve more youth players per game. So I guess the youth tournaments are done through career mode. And then you could sub in players to develop them. Okay. Enhanced visuals. Okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Derek Ray? We could have Derek Ray commentate? I don't even know that. I'm sure he's amazing, but I would only know him by his voice. Post-match accolades. Refresh post-match screen highlighting each player and achievements. Presentation, okay. Whatever, okay. Skill moves. Oh, here we go. You have more skill moves and they add. This is somewhat like eFootball. They made it more simplified. Now, I don't mind it because they didn't go smart assist route. Nobody would be dumb enough to do that but Konami. However, you can get spammers out of this because back in the day, you've always had skill spammers. But how it was before is these skill spammers had to sit there and learn all these moves. Right? So you'd take Vinny Jr. and they do moves with him all day. But they had to practice. So there was a skill set in it at least. A skill set in being a skill spammer. Learning the skill moves. Now, if you simplify it to just flicking the right stick, like they're saying left or right, and it does the best move to go in that direction, you're going to have these ratty low-level players that just sit there and spam skill moves. So hopefully, they aren't overpowered. Otherwise, this simplified skill moves thing can be a joke. And also, we don't know if it's in every mode, if it's limited to certain modes. They didn't really say that part.
Okay, this is rush stuff. I'm not really too. If I open my game right now, it's gonna give me the tutorial for Rush. I never really played it. Not to say that it's bad. It's just you have to understand. I don't play the game normally. I haven't played the game normally in like 7 years. I don't do grinding for like evolutions or like if it's a car that I can naturally get as an evolution, then sure. It was an evolution that I had on my current team. I don't even remember, to be honest. Oh, I have an evolution on my team. Not even. I didn't even do the anticipate for Hullet and stuff. Like that's how much I didn't care. Maybe I do care for this year. Who knows? We've added new skill moves to give you more ways to express yourself on the pitch. Explosive step over, hold. Okay, this stuff I have to actually remember when we're trying out the game.
Yes.
Hold L1, rotate right stick forward, left.
That looks like it could be sick, guys. It's just a regular step over, but you hold L1.
Hold?
Yeah, hold L1, and then do a regular step over, bro.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's fine, actually. That's actually authentic. Hold on.
What was that?
Hey, that is a cool skill move, by the way.
Advanced heel flick? Wait. Dude, that's sick. Which one is that? Hold on. Advanced heel flick. Flick right stick forward, back. Forward, back. That's a regular one, typically. I think that's an advanced one. Drag to chop. Hold L2. Okay. Elastico variation from jogs. All these are 4 or 5 star. Explosive step over is 3 star, can do it. Elastico variation. So hold L2, right stick, right, back, left. So it's a regular elastico, but hold L2. The step over is a regular step over, but hold L1. New Trickster Rainbow. Gosh, oh, here we go. Oh, I've seen this too. It's this crazy, like, spin thing. Flick right stick, back forward. But it's crazy, dude. From stand or jog. 1 to 5 stars, so anybody can do it. What? So let's check this out.
The explosive step over. Yeah.
Elastico variation. Oh, here it is. It looks like a regular.
That's such a Quidditch skill move, by the way. Oh my god.
It's like a regular step over.
Oof.
You
guys haven't watched that clip. I think it was against Marseille that he does that.
I want to see every one.
He does that all the time.
Go to every one. Yes, here we go.
So L1, boom, boom. Okay. Advanced heel flick, right stick, flick right stick forward, back, plus left stick, diagonal left. Boom, boom.
See, so learning these skill moves, that right stick flick shit must be like lower division or like only in friendlies or offline or something. Which I figured EA couldn't be that dumb. There's skills and learning skills. You know what I'm saying? But the explosive, just doing a regular step over, holding L1 is gonna be sick, bro. When you want that quick space to get a shot off, picture R9, right? That's what R9 did. But he did scissors. There's got to be explosive scissors, right? Like hold R1 and do it would be, and then do, or no, hold L1 and do the scissors. So step over is, wait, he just did the scissors, didn't he? That wasn't a real step over. That was, see, they call scissors a step over.
So L1, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Flick right stick forward, back. For the advanced.
So yeah, that is. Real quick to clarify, I don't know if you guys grew up this way or not, but I always called scissors is when you go outside. Like picture Ronaldo, the famous Ronaldo. Step over is when you go from the outside of the ball over the top to the inside and then push with the outside of your foot, right? Outside of that same foot. That's a step over. Scissors is when you do like the R9, right? Your foot's on the inside. You still step over the ball, obviously, but we called it scissors. Go to the outside, and then you push it with the outside of the other foot. Either way, the explosive step over, as they call it, looks ridiculous. If I can confuse you there, I'm sorry. That looks sick. I like the direction change for the advanced heel flick. So literally all it is flick right stick forward, back, plus left stick diagonal, left, right. Or forward. So you're literally doing a heel flick, which was typically forward, back, and you would just heel flick it forward. Now they add direction to it. So you go forward, back, boom, and release. So right stick, forward, back, as the left stick is going in the direction you want to go. I love it. That could be great, too, in creating space.
Okay, cool.
Stupid. It looks sick, but
that's a concerning one just because of the animation from the defender. Like if I'm controlling it properly, you're forcing. I hate forced animations. But if it's like AI that's controlling it and you do that properly, then yeah, it should come off.
I hate those stupid flicky big rainbow. Come on, guys.
What, the ball roll? Oh, Berbatov spin.
Yeah. The Berbatov spin, which is very effective.
Adjusted lane change to be faster and not push the ball forward at the end of the animation. Adjusted jog variation of drag back to be 10% more effective. Closer ball control when doing a skill move when sprinting. Reduce skill move error across all skill moves. Adjusted fake shot to stops to transition to dribble faster. Enable goalkeepers to do more skill moves such as ball rolls, body feints, and roulette.
They want goalkeepers to be able to do skill moves. Come on. Hold on. So adjusted lane change to be faster and not push the ball forward at the end of the animation. So you can do more controlled skill moves. Adjusted jog variation of drag back to be 10% more effective. Closer ball control when doing a skill move while sprinting. Reduce skill move error across all skill moves. So now they pull the moves off more. Adjusted fake shot to stops to transition to dribble faster. So you guys know what we're talking about, right? You're dribbling across the box, boom, fake shot, right? And then you stop, and then the defender like reacts to like block the shot or something, and then boom, you explode into a sprint. So apparently they made that faster now. And you don't have to transition to a sprint. It could just be regular dribble. But now apparently that's faster. That's what I noticed. Everything they're going for more crisp, with more intent, right? Less delay, less nonsense in between the plays, less, no wind up anymore. It's quicker passing, right? But not quick in the sense that you're going to see the ball flying at 3,000 miles an hour. It's just, if you watch the video from my deep dive into the pitch notes, you'll see it's just more crisp. Boom, boom, boom. No delay, basically. Just imagine that. It's all tied into them going to fix the inconsistent, laggy, nonsense gameplay. It's all tied together. And they explain how, but that's really like the overall theme.
Player name bar. The new customizable player UI lets you... This stuff you'll learn when you actually play the game. That's why I'm not really like looking into this too much.
You can now see
this
their
was
weak
flexibility is
foot.
intended to ensure that you have... Oh, sorry. So you can adjust the information displayed. Choose your preferred layout, highlights. Oh, skill moves, weak foot, strong foot. Oh, interesting.
That's cool. That comes in handy, especially with newer
You
players.
can individually
Draft.
toggle on and off playstyle icons, footedness icons, or skill moves rating. All are set on by default, but they can be disabled via the settings. Here's what the setting is. Here's what each setting does. Playstyle plus shows which playstyle plus the currently controlled player has available. Skill moves rating show the currently controlled players. Skill move rating, footedness shows whether the player is left or right footed. Oh, shows whether the player is right or left footed, or how good they are with their weak foot. Yeah. Funny, the weak foot has a percentage to it. Interesting.
I like that. Well, I'm sure each bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Within
has
UT, the team badge is replaced by the UT player item, and in modes such as clubs, you'll see the player archetyped in play as player modes. Okay.
Go back a sec. Within Ultimate Team, the team badge is replaced. Come on. Sorry. Within Ultimate Team, the team badge is replaced by the Ultimate Team player item, and in modes such as clubs, you'll see the player archetype. In play as player mode, who cares about that? Rating will show. Okay. So the badge is replaced by the Ultimate Team player item. I don't understand, but whatever. Which badge? You talking about on the top left?
Okay.
Yeah. That's weird. So on the top left, Ultimate Team player item. Interesting. We'll have to see how that looks. Not a huge deal, but I mean, visuals, you know.
Okay, match performance ratings. This stuff I never really cared for. CPU AI. Here's some more info about the CPU related changes to authentic gameplay. Authentic gameplay, I don't care.
That's offline. Authentic gameplay is offline.
Rules change. Last year, our rule system has received some further improvements to ensure fairness across the pitch with the following changes. Breakaway fouls improved our breakaway logic to better detect fouls involving the last player calls, and offside calls remade the offside logic to improve the accuracy of calls.
Huh. I already thought they did it perfectly. Apparently not. Damn.
Thanks to...
What? Tell us what you know.
Maybe that's why you guys did good changes this year.
He knows those guys, I guess.
I'm not going to say specifically who it is. There's one person I mess with heavy over here. Had a very long conversation with him. Him specifically. That's the only reason why my third visit was even good, to be honest. let's just say that this guy, he used to watch my sub before he even worked there. So he knows of the issues that I brought up. So, he's trying to butter me up by putting his name in there. The rest of them, I don't remember them. But like one of them, yeah. I think he recently moves there too, to the gameplay team. So the game is actually any good. It's because you didn't have a moron working on winger. Like, there's actual movements for that type of thing.
I want to hear his final verdict, and I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, some of the parts I skipped, guys, just because they're just words. I need to see examples. I need to actually play the game. The thing that I needed to see more of is honestly the new tactic system. Seeing stuff like, you know, them actually adding versatile so that a player does not only act like an absolute moron and is only on inside forward, only on winger. There's actual movements for that type of thing. So that was really important for me to see. Gameplay responsiveness we've already covered. At least they acknowledge it nowadays. It doesn't change the fact that they took way too long to do it, but I see one name down there and I'm already like, all right, it makes more sense as to why it's a thing that you're actually sharing nowadays. A transition from doing one thing into another is quicker, which I personally like a lot, and that goes for both attacking and defending. Precision shooting is basically your new timed finishing. You're gonna probably have to get used to it because assisted shooting.
I've been telling you guys.
That's the prediction.
I'm so happy that this is happening. I can show you rat attack after video after stream where I kept saying precision shooting is a must. I'm telling you they're going to go this route because assisted shooting is nonsense. It is not skill-based. You can't take the heart of a football game, which is scoring goals, and make it non-skill based. They have to do something to change it. eFootball and UFL, both of them, laughable until they make dynamic shooting because scoring goals is nonsense in those games. Pointing, power up, shoot, there's way more to shooting than that. Oh, well, you can choose finesse. No, dude, of course you can choose to shoot this way or that way. That's not what dynamic shooting is. The aiming, which changes as you're winding up, as the goalkeeper's moving. The realism in shooting matters. You can't have this long wind up where the defender can catch up and essentially they get rewarded for getting smoked because the shooting's so delayed. Or the keeper can now react to exactly where you're going. There's never that much time to react. You got to make a quick decision as a keeper. And that all this takes away from it. So EA Sports went in the right direction, taking away their windup, which was not even close to as bad as eFootball. On top of that, they took away the most exploitable feature, which was green timed. Even though I like the idea of it, right? It was all about how well you struck the ball, right? You get that fluid, perfect hit of the ball. It's going to be a rope compared to if you miss hit it a little bit. The ball's not going to be placed as well. It's not going to be as hard hit, as accurate. However, just like I always say, if you can bring the realistic parts of football into the game, then absolutely do it. Everything you can do that with, you must, because that's what we want to play. We want to play a football simulator. That's what we're trying to play. That's where UFL went off the map with all this nonsense and skill. It's not football related. That's where eFootball going so AI heavy. They're taking away from football with their defensive system, their lack of dynamic shooting, their lack of dynamic in many areas. It's so one-dimensional and not skill-based. It's not even funny. Skill-based because it's a competitive game where the player versus player is what matters, where each player is trying to break down each player's team and may the best man win. And that includes defending, into passing, right? Your build-up, into scoring goals. They all must be dynamic. They all must have a skill gap to them. Precision shooting with now the option to go low, like on a low-driven route instead of a regular shot, or in the air, if you will. So you have all the options with aiming and precise aiming. Brilliant stuff. Not to mention you have to know which player's shooting and which styles they have to know your best chances of scoring in each of the situations, right? A power shot for one player may be the best, whereas a finesse shot in that same area may be the best for another player. Or if you have Game Changer, a Trivela shot, right? Because if you trigger Trivela now and your player doesn't have Game Changer, nothing will happen. Wasted. Maybe that player you need to finesse. All this adds to skill. All of it. right? And it's like Inception said, a lot of this you have to play the game to see. You can only take their words with a grain of salt. They're, of course, going to try to make everything sound amazing. But the stuff where they did provide the clips, which is why they do it, some it wasn't enough to see if it was going to be, the feature would be good or not. Others, you could tell by the clip without a doubt the improvements there. The left stick dribbling is going to be insane this year. It's so much more quicker, so much better reactions. Even just off the ball, the player cuts, the defensive improvements with the jockeying, right? With the tackle backs being fixed for both interceptions and tackles on dribbles, as well as now the defenders having you hold the sprint button when you're in the area to make a play on the ball, and they'll make a hard tackle or make a hard interception attempt instead of awkwardly standing there watching the player shoot. All these things are pluses. The tactical side with the player roles and all this, it's super restrictive in general, but we have to deal with it. So in both games, really in all games, because of skins in UFL, like I said, in eFootball, they have the different player roles, play team play styles, showtime skills, all the different skills that are AI triggered, rising shot, knuckle shot. And then in FC, of course, the play styles, play style pluses. Then the player roles and player role plus plus, which I love from this. They're making improvements to the player role plus. You can't have a player that's an excellent player, but he doesn't have the plus plus role or the play style plus in this area, and it makes him, so far almost unusable because there's so many better options, even though this player is very good, all because he's missing a role or a play style or whatnot. So it's good to see they're improving on that, or at least they say they are. Based on what I'm seeing and reading, I give it a very high grade. Based on what I guarantee will be good from what I've seen, I can still go around the B-ish area, B plus maybe from a B. But only time will tell. We'll go ahead and let Inception finish off with what he's talking about. But you got to love all the detail, and you got to love the fact that for the first time, much of this stuff is being addressed by EA Sports because they're smart enough to know, they've done it for years, that if they ignore something, if they don't even talk about it, for them it's been better than bringing it up to the forefront. The last thing that I almost forgot, and it's the most important thing, is Inception is the foremost big content creator that is calling for, and has been for years, the inconsistent gameplay to be fixed. So when we're playing champs or rivals and you guys are having the same problem as me, where 1 out of every 5 games is good, the other ones you can't move, you're so delayed it's almost impossible to play, you're losing to players you would never usually lose to, it's frustrating, and it makes it to where it's like, what's the point in playing no matter how good the game is? Inception has been trying to tackle this. You hear him 3 trips to EA Sports. And fortunately, a fan of his channel, someone that he worked close with, is in the list of lead developers on this. That's a good sign. We'll see if them bringing a lot of this, including addressing the inconsistent gameplay, will actually improve. I still got one more deep dive going into those tests and everything they did to make that better, and we'll see if we can make something of it. So let's let Inception finish this off.
We don't know for sure, right? But it's probably going to be garbage, just to get more accurate shots so that your players are not taking shots more in the middle. They're probably going to be forcing people more in that direction, which, to be honest with you, I don't necessarily...
He's saying assisted shooting is probably going to be garbage, which I'm all for, by the way. Make shooting skilled. Assisted shooting's garbage in general. Don't let these rats have any way to take a shortcut around having skill, putting in time to get better.
Really mind too much. It's just something that you have to get used to, of course, right?
I love it. Everyone who's been using precision,
Boomfa Phil, be a big one probably if you're a player.
Shout out Boomfa and Phil who follow my lead on using precision. Now you're going to be ahead of a lot of players, including Inception. It looks like
just have specific play styles. That's going to be like a big one. The player marking right here on the edge of the 18 to avoid cutbacks, that's something that I have to see actually from playing the game.
It looks good so far, though.
If there's no player marking for people that are constantly doing that, and it's not based off of actual intelligence for attacking AI, then you can go F's yourself, okay? Not helping people who are brain dead actually be able to attack in the game. Driven shots, it makes more sense that it's a double tap, so you don't have to worry about timing your shots anymore. You just double tap for a driven, so that's good. And yeah, I see an example here with like cursor defending. I just don't know if that's going to be like a really consistent thing with like the interceptions. We're going to see if they have that sort of like magnetization on your player's head when you actually defend properly. It's that. It's also the goalkeeper deflections being really important. that people who take low percentage strikes don't get rewarded
Yep.
for it, which is really good.
Another rat move that was
And,
removed. Another rat move. Just taking a shot because you know you can get the rebound instead of actually breaking down the defense. Just shooting whenever you can. Trying to run into the rebound. It's a joke. They helped that. Or they fixed that. Based on the clips they showed, which again, you can see in my deep dive of the pitch notes, my last video, they did a good job of that.
Yeah. There's a lot of good changes to this, words-wise. Words-wise, there's a lot of good changes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, guys. So the bottom line, whether you're a UFC, UFC is awesome, by the way. But whether you're an FC player, a UFL player, eFootball player, these things are good to know because none of the other games are breaking down the details of their biggest improvements like this, or their next iterations or their next updates. It's just little summaries. You need to demand detailed explanations so you know exactly where the game's going, so you know what you're investing your time and money into. Also, when these development companies say these things, take it with a grain of salt. Don't consider it a fact until you play the game and you feel it yourself. But at least this gives you more to look into, and the more detail is the more accountable you can hold the development teams, which is why I'm optimistic with FC, because they know dang well that players are going to be honing in on all these things they brought up. I couldn't be more optimistic about this game. I couldn't say that for years, and like literally years, since way before content creating, since way before I played competitive. I'm talking even when I was playing career mode, even when I was playing with my buddies back in college. They've gone finally into the mindset, it looks like, that they need to listen to us, the players, because without us, they're nothing. If they keep this up, it can only be good. With that being said, you guys have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whatever it is. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please join my Discord. The link is in the YouTube bio. If you enjoyed this, please smash the like button, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.